Let's talk about Belgian Dark Strong, aka Belgian Quadrupel. What does it taste like? Where does it come from? And what should you eat with it? Well, let's find out. Tell me, have you had Belgian Quad or Belgian Dark Strong in the past? Do you like it? Do you have any favorites? Let me know down below in the comments. And while you're at it, please hit like and subscribe. And thank you for doing so. My name is George Thornton. I am an advanced Cicerone and a national ranked judge, and also a beer travel guide. Today, we are going to be using the St. Bernardus Abt 12 to talk about the Belgian Quad style, 26D if you're following BJCP. This is a 10% example, just a lovely thing to try. So if you have the opportunity, go pick it up and you can taste along with me. Let's get into the story of this beer. The history of this beer is a bit fabled and is intertwined with perhaps one of the most sought out special beers out there, which is the Wesleyan 12, which is nowadays brewed at the St. Sixtus Abbey, but St. Bernardus actually used to brew it for them. The monks at St. Sixtus get credit for inventing the style prior to World War II, but after the war, the abbey decided to increase their production. And to that end, they actually ended up contracting out to a cheesemaker who then opened up the brewery St. Bernard to produce the beers for St. Sixtus. They had that contract from 1946 up until 1992. So what happened during that time period was that the Trappist Association decided to make the Trappist logo and the Trappist brand a bit more special. So they decided that you had to actually brew the beers on site at the monastery. The monks at St. Sixtus built a state-of-the-art brewery, and that also meant they start brewing their own beers, and therefore the St. Bernard brewery couldn't associate themselves with the abbey anymore. They then changed the name to St. Bernardus, and they removed any sort of religious iconography from the label itself. They continued to produce fantastic abbey-style ales, and in fact, the Abt 12 recipe is still the same process ingredients that it would have been when they were brewing it for the St. Sixtus Abbey. In other words, if you can't get your hands on the Wesleyan 12, then you'll be happy to know that many people, including myself, consider the Abt 12 as a worthy substitute. As far as the ingredients, the recipe itself is quite simple. It's mostly just Pilsner malt and then some continental hops, candy sugar, and yeast. The secret for the flavor of the beer really comes from the sugar and the yeast. The sugar provides a range of flavors like prune, fig, date, molasses, rose petals, toffee, chocolate, while the yeast can provide fruity notes like banana, peach, bubblegum, apple, pear, and spicy notes like clove, peppercorn. As far as food, this is a strong beer with lots of character, pretty high ABV, and a pretty dry finish. Look for more gamey meats or like hearty roasted vegetables. And if you're gonna go cheese, go like more funky thing like Roquefort cheese would definitely hold up to this. The overall impression, if we look at the BJCP guide, tells us that it's a dark, complex, very strong Belgian ale with a delicious blend of malt richness, dark fruit flavors, spicy notes, complex, rich, smooth, and dangerous. Now, as far as other styles you might confuse this with, it's like a boozier Belgian double. It has higher ABV and a more rich and complex malt character. And then compared to Belgian triple, well, it's darker in color, the triple is more blonde. And then also the triple tends to be a bit more bitter. The characteristic Belgian yeast is really what sets it apart from other high octane beers like barley wine or Doppelbock or Baltic porter. IBUs tend to be moderate at 20 to 35. Color ranges from deep amber to deep coppery brown at 12 to 22 SRM. Starting gravity is 1075 to like 1110, and it finishes pretty dry in the 1010 to 1024 kind of off dry territory there. And the ABV hovers in the 8 to 12% range. Okay, so let's do a quick tasting on this beer. We'll focus on just the high level aroma, flavor, and yeast malt characteristics, etc. Definitely driven by the yeast profile. To that end, I'm getting fruity notes like bubblegum, banana, pear, overripe apple. Definitely lots of really nice like spicy clove, black, pink peppercorn, dry finish. So that really does enhance this kind of overall drinkability. You do get a good amount of like dark fruit notes like fig and prune and date, molasses, most likely coming from that darker Belgian candy sugar. And overall just a really beautiful, easy drinking, pretty dangerous beer. Carbonation on this is pretty high. That is an asset that's going to help with a lot of, cutting power as far as cutting through fat. Then this will help cleanse the palate with that high carbonation. And of course, the dry finish aids in that as well because you don't have any sugar lingering around. And then just tons of like beautiful fruity and spicy aromatics to play around with and flavors. Definitely going to be fun to do with like a charcuterie or with a meal. Definitely as the holidays approach, this is a really good option. They do also, in fact, make a Christmas version of this exact beer, so that's definitely something to consider for the holidays. Pair with your meals, with your family and friends. Yeah, lovely beer. Other great examples to look for would be the Ockel Extra Bruin, the Boulevard 6th Glass, Chimay Blue, Roquefort 10, and of course, Blessed 112. So that's that for this fantastic beer. I really enjoyed going over this. I hope you enjoyed tasting along with me. Thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Leave your thoughts and suggestions below. And until next time, cheers.